decision must have been made to get rid of Muturi sometimes back. And the Gen Z offered a perfect reason and opportunity. There comes a time when somebody, in this case, the president, makes a decision that he no longer needs Muturi, but then when and how do you get rid of him? What I am telling the Gen Z is that you offered an opportunity and an excuse for many things to happen. And among these many things that happened is to get rid of Muturi. You made a good opportunity for Nusumkate. Yeah, during Kibaki's time, it was called Nusumkate, but now it is called bread-based government. I now can see why Muturi's son was mixed up with the Gen Z. You know, I've always been asking myself, why was Muturi's son abducted? Yet when you look at all those things to do with Gen Z, he featured nowhere. But then, when the time came for the Subaru boys to get him, they used that opportunity because you people, or we people, me included, when we see a young man of around the same age as Gen Z's being arrested, you'd even think that he was among them. You may also come to a conclusion that perhaps, even though he was not on the front line, maybe he was in the background and the Subaru boys knew about it, and that is why they went to abduct him. But now things are becoming clearer and clearer. I would want to say that he was abducted to annoy Muturi. He was abducted to annoy Muturi, whereby Muturi, being the Attorney General and a member of the National Security and Advisory Board, seeing that members of the National Security and Advisory Board had access to all the, I think, apart from what is meant for the president's ear alone, but if you are a member of the National Security and Advisory, there is no secret you do not get. And in case you want clarification, you just get it directly. So I want to believe that his son was abducted for a simple reason that they wanted his father to be annoyed and resign in haste. That is the only explanation. But before that, you have also to notice that when the cabinet was disbanded, the AG was sent packing, which is unusual. On a typical situation like this, if the president wants to disband the cabinet holistically, the Attorney General remains. If I am not wrong, when Kibaki disbanded the cabinet after 2005, referendum, the Attorney General remained. Why does the Attorney General remain? You see, if you disband the cabinet and the Attorney General is sacked also, who will give the government legal advice? The Attorney General there's no, you cannot imagine a situation where the seat or the seat of the Attorney General is unoccupied. It is not imaginable. But then you'll notice that when the cabinet was disbanded, he was also sent packing. So that is another example. I don't know whether it came earlier than the abduction or before, but we have to say that it was that extraordinary thing was made to to annoy him, whereby you know that you are the Attorney General, and Attorney Generals can only be sacked or something when another one is employed. Now, for you to be targeted, and the position stays vacant, it is telling. I don't know whether it is also by coincidence that whoever was appointed as the Attorney General to replace him refused to take it until she was allocated another ministry. I don't know whether that was deliberate or coincidental, but if it is not coincidental, I would say that she knew that there was a problem in the Attorney General's office. Maybe she would be seen to be enjoying somebody's downfall. Those things are there just for speculation. I can see that this was meant to frustrate him so that he resigns, but he did not resign. The question is, he was frustrated that way, and even right now he has been frustrated. Remember, he did not attend the cabinet session in Kakamega, and when asked why he did not attend the cabinet session, he said, "Can you ask the secretary to the cabinet?" You may not understand that. That is a message he's sending. He's saying, when he was asked why did you not attend the cabinet session in Kakamega, and he says that you can ask the secretary to the cabinet, he's trying to say indirectly that the secretary to the cabinet did not invite him. He did not invite him to the cabinet meeting. Briefly, that is what he's saying. And then again, I want you to remember that at the time, there is a time when somewhere, I don't know which particular time, but there was a time when Rigiji was complaining about abduction. He was complaining about abduction, where he was saying kids are being abducted and where did we go wrong. He even, I don't know whether it was on or before the impeachment. I don't know whether it was on or before impeachment, but I remember the Rigathi Gachagua saying, I remember Rigathi Gachagua saying that even Muturi's son was abducted, and yet Muturi sits on the National Security and Advisory Committee. Something also to note here is that even though he said so, Rigathi said so, you will notice that at that particular time, Muturi did not comment. So you also have to ask yourself, what is it? I would not be wrong. I want to say that my suspicion is this, that there was a time when Ken Matiba resigned. There's a time Ken Matiba resigned from the cabinet. He later claimed that they had agreed with Mwai Kibaki that they resigned from the cabinet at the same time. Could this be a repeat of the history? Could it be that at that time, the war on Rigathi Gachagua may have wanted to drag in Muturi? Is it also possible that Muturi may have agreed with Rigathi Gachagua, and then when Rigathi Gachagua's turn came, he was left high and dry the way Matiba was left high and dry? We may never know, but if in future any or both do come out, then we will know that that is there. There was also a pre-election agreement between the Muturi's party that is Democratic Party, and UDA. There was a pre-election agreement between Muturi's party and UDA. Now, I want to tell you this thing. There is something which also may explain what is happening now. It may explain, on one hand, why the president is taking long and appears to be unable to sack him. And on the other hand, it also is explaining why Muturi appears to be provoking the president to sack him. It's because Muturi is representing the interest of his party in the cabinet. You'll also notice that when the cabinet was dissolved and there was a reappointment, either back to the cabinet or elsewhere, you'll find that the cabinet secretaries who previously had their own parties were not left out. For example, Maendeleo Chapchap, for example, what do we say, Mudavadi, for example. Oh, there are so many examples. So those who joined the coalition directly with their party, even if it was a briefcase party, have had or have that thing. And that may explain why Muturi is doing that way, because one thing, okay, two things, but both the two things are related to the fact of his political party. If he's sacked, he believes that his party will always complain that that one as a party, they can even go to court and say that coalition agreement for his party is not being honored. And two, he believes that owning a party, if he walks out with a chunk of supporters. He will not be like he's not like Reggie, who, when he left, he had no party, although he has promised us that he's going to start a party in February. That is a story for another day. He is holding on in a belief that is similar to Reggie. You see, Reggie, every sign was on the wall, just like Muturi. There are so many signs that Muturi is on his way out, and he is living a lie. Yeah, that is the word I wanted to use. Just like Rigiji was living a lie, also Muturi is living a lie. He thinks that he has a constituency, that is the party. He has a constituency, that is a tribe, or even especially coming from Mrima, and he believes that he has the law on his side, so he believes that he can play hardball to get, and that is why things are that way. He is forgetting that the trust issue. With a goodwill, I've always believed that anybody entering into an agreement with you with a goodwill, he can do it even by word of mouth. If somebody's intention is good, you can enter your whatever by a word of mouth. But if somebody does not have a goodwill, even if you sign, even if you go to lawyers and whatever, you find that it will still not work. So the issue here is not the written agreement or not. The thing here, the secret here is something that is called goodwill. You can have your papers, but without goodwill, that is out. In Kenya's history, whoever wins the presidency dictates the political route. The agreement with the agreement in the Kenya Kwanza, am I allowed to say Kenya Kwisha? The agreement is that the agreement is between DP, that is Democratic Party, and UDA to form a coalition. Now, just like what happened to Jubilee, you remember Jubilee Party? it happened that Jubilee was slowly removed, like a carpet being removed from your feet, and you step on the hard surface, just like the carpet can be removed and you find that you are stepping on the hard surface, is what happens to a political party.